Okay, so cage swing is three sets of 4, so it's 12 swings. You're gonna go 1 1 1 1 2 2 2 2 3 3 3 3. Yeah, always starting with the left. These markings on the wall are kind of your reference points where you should be at any time. Get rid of this real quick. So the first one is just left and then pretty much straight away right, the left, right. This one you delay a little bit, and this one you delay quite a bit. And this one straight away, slight delay, big delay, instantly 3, instantly 3, slight delay, and then slight delay. First try. I'll link a video where he like points out all of his reference points and things like that. Right. So the strategy that you want to go for that's really quick is not like that. Depending on where they spawn from, it can make it really difficult. You want to just nip past them. Man, this is hard. But it depends on when they're coming from. So the strategy that I learned originally is you wait here. You keep it really tight. Like, keep it really tight. Like, really tight. The tighter, the better. Because you can just send them off into oblivion. Too tight. And... because if you can get them clumped together like that, it makes it really easy to get by them. But ultimately what you want to do is kind of just run at them and then weave past. But like there, I don't think you can make that. If you go for the fast strategy and that happens, I don't think there's anything you can do. Maybe Bomb Bomb will have something to say about it, but if you can't like comfortably get into that well, hang on. If you can't comfortably get into, you can't even see the mouse now. No. When that one comes a lot later, so if I pause it, can't really see because it's quite dark. But here, if you're not really like nipping into that bit, you can have a really hard time getting past the last guard. You know what I mean? She's just catching my heels. I think if you like come back down, you can kind of stand a chance. But yeah. Like that's the skip that you want. This one. The one in my other video is how to manage like all the patterns and stuff. But like that one would have been quite difficult because they were at a really weird angle. Like right here, you can sort of get around them twice. Yeah, you can't guarantee getting past all the guards every single time, because you can't tell where they're going to be all the time, and they can sort of like, they can catch you out. It can catch you out. But you should always be able to get past the first one. So in this screen after this one, you can just run down the middle, but I wouldn't recommend it. So just split to the left. If you just hold upright here, don't let go, just hold upright. And then when you get past the stairs, hold up like that. They'll never catch you. They'll never catch you. On PC, more often than not, you can make it just by running up without worrying about it, because you travel so much faster. You reckon you could 100% guard skip every single time? Alright. Oops. So, quick menu here after we get the ice brand. This is my personal most forgotten menu in the entire fucking game. Usually because I'm fucking around with Metal Gear Solid 2 music at this point. So you grab these. The reason why we grab the one on the right is purely because we can't get onto the platform yet, so we may as well. Worth 400 gold after all. When you get off, you do a quick menu. You want to go straight to Freya. Optimize. Optimize. Real easy. You have to make sure that you optimize Freya first because you're putting the Thunder Gloves on her. She wants you've got one pair of Thunder Gloves in your inventory and she needs them. If you optimize them onto Steiner, it takes Man-Eater off of him. And it stops Freya from gaining Devil Killer AP that she needs. Really important that you do Freya first. Zornn Thorn is pretty straightforward. Depending on the level of your Steiner, you can attempt to one-turn these guys. You have to hit, ideally, really, at least 1800. If you underroll 1800, you can gamble and do a basic attack with Vivi as well, but if you low roll, you're going to get meteorited, and it's just shit. The most easy, secure, no worries thing that you can do is just attack twice with Steiner, and then have Vivi donk Thorn? The blue one. So make Steiner hit the red one. So low roll, so I'm going to wait. Target Zornn. One, yeah, Zornn. And then I'm just going to attack with Steiner on the red one again. Game. There's the crit. Smile. Okay, so if you somehow managed to forget your menu before, it's actually not too big of a deal. It just makes the fight take a bit longer. You don't get any ability points from that menu. You that fight, sorry. So you can now do the menu here. If I've done it here a couple times, but you really want to do it in time for Zornn Thorn. Next, we're going to be fighting Beatrix 3. Pretty straightforward. But she is one of the trickiest fights, again, in this entire game. I swear, every single time I fight a new boss, they get harder. Well, they stop getting harder in Disc 3. Disc 2. Disc 2, they simplify them a little bit. You want to try and get on the second one as well, because apparently they take longer to spin when you're on them, so you lose a couple frames or something. I bet on the ether tree, if you get swept, you just fucking die, don't you? So I'm going to get my calculator up. So, 5709. Beatrix 3 is a really awkward fight. Steiner deals the bulk of your damage, like the far majority of it. 1600 plus, and everyone else deals around 600 each. You only really want to be using Vivi to buffer other characters. And what I mean by that is you're going to be casting Blizzara so that other characters can fill their ATB during that time. Because it takes so long for Blizzara to go off, you want to queue VV at the end of the turn so that characters that have gone before him will have time to generate ATB, so that if Beatrix uses a quick attack, they will have their turn, basically. That's the only real reason to be using VV. The damage is so low. You can also use VV to, like, buffer the 50% threshold. So once she goes under 50%, she'll cast Cura, and heal about 900, I think. But Steiner is the bulk of your damage. If Steiner goes down, you need to pick him up. Freya will have cover on as well, so if he goes down once, Freya will then protect him afterwards. She can take everything except for a shock, just like everyone else. Everyone can tank at least one of everything except for Steiner, who just dies in one hit because he's still only got about 160 HP at this point in the game. Again, I think she does actually have like 48 speed. She is incredibly fast. This is one of the most real-time fights in the entire game, so you have to be very quick with your actions. So I'm just going to queue these two basic attacks here. And then I'm going to queue Steiner into a Blizzara. So I'm using VV to buffer everyone here. So as long as Steiner doesn't go down turn... Never mind, he's fucking missed, of course. Then 690, I'm going to quickly queue Steiner first. Attack, attack. So she'll be using Cura this turn because I pushed her over with that swing. That's fine. 4, 5. So Q with Steiner. I'm going to hold with Zidane here. So she's on 1500 HP. As long as I don't miss. Check to make sure she's dead. There we go. If Steiner goes down, I would use VV to revive if you can. And then you can always attack with Zidane. And we can attack with... But I think if you use a Phoenix down, Steiner should have his turn the following turn. Because the Phoenix down animations are quite slow. I'm not sure. You might have to like put somebody attacking after him or something like that. In order to guarantee that he gets his turn in the sense of like a quick attack or something. But yeah, Beatrix 3. She's pretty straightforward. You shouldn't really die. As long as you don't like sit there and do nothing. But Steiner deals a lot of damage in that fight. So, in this next encounter, we're going to fight a Bandersnatch. Freya and Beatrix can actually kill them with a basic attack each. But the only instance you'd really be going for that is if Freya's got really good ATB and Beatrix has really bad ATB. If Beatrix is good ATB, you want to be using Seiken. So this is an example of when I'd be doing it, as long as you didn't get slept. Alright, so Freya's been slept, so I'm going to have to use Clim Hazard anyway. Clim Hazard is the spell that you're going to be using. If you didn't get enough levels onto Freya during the Clara Trunk, this is when you're going to notice it. If Freya is not level 13, you will notice it now. So as soon as we come into here, we're going to really quickly do a menu. Go on to Steiner, go on to Yellow Scarf, Bronze Armor, optimize Zidane into a leather wrist. If you go from bottom to top, it's nice and smooth. Abilities, MP attack, and Beast Killer. Easy. Again, you want to jump onto the second one if you can. Save a couple frames. And then the next encounter we're going to get is triple black mages. Again, Zidane can 80 weight these guys. Zidane, Steiner, and Vivi all kill these things in one hit. Because Steiner went down in Black Waltz 3, I'm going to be conscious of whether or not he stays alive in most of these fights. I think he can die for 2 of them. If he dies for more than 2 of these encounters, I need to be really careful with his bird killer AP. If that happens, you can kind of take the time to PD him. Use Phoenix down, sorry, to make sure that he gets the AP that he needs. Instant ATB, so I'm going to hold to make sure that I can pick someone that hasn't had their turn yet on him. And I'll have Zidane attack that one. Going anyway. So as long as Zidane doesn't miss here. Nice. Okay, everyone lived. Perfect. That's going to give everyone a big HP boost, which we really want. Steiner's going to go up to about 300 HP here or so. And Dagger's going to hit about 200, I think. That helps. So proceed out of there. Next encounter we're going to get is a couple of dogs. If people go down or if people drop below like a critical amount of HP, it's a good idea to heal them. Dagger is a little bit less essential. Just if she goes down and she's still level 1, don't worry about healing her. Just make sure she's alive. She dies in one hit to everything anyway. So in this encounter, there are a bunch of ways to actually deal with these dogs. Zidane does have the ability to kill them in one hit. I think it's a 50-50 roll. VV can also kill them in one hit with the Blizzara on a 60% success rate, I believe. It might be a bit lower. It feels a lot higher than that to me, but I believe it's like 2 and 3. If Zidane does low roll, you can use VV to follow up and finish off. Steiner can't kill these guys in one hit, but you can use Dagger to, more often than not, finish up. If Steiner and Dagger both low roll, then they will not finish off the dog. And I don't believe you can ATB weight these guys. So it's just a combination of seeing what's what. If you have like perfect ATB on Steiner, Zidane, and VV, and you attack with Zidane and it doesn't kill one of them, then you could potentially swing with Steiner and then Blizzara all, if you can like make sure that they're not having any turns. Because once again, stopping them from having turns means that they're not casting spells on you, they're not sleeping you, they're not killing your guys and forcing you to heal and things like that. This is not bad ATB. So I'll hold, make sure he's going in. I'll just queue Steiner on the other one for now anyway. So he actually finished it off for me. See if we can get him in as well. Okay, so there's a rush. Not too bad. Not too bad. So I'm going to heal up here and make sure everyone's full HP so that Steiner can guarantee learning everything that he needs in the next few encounters, because I won't have another chance to heal him then. So really quickly go to abilities, up to get back to Dagger, XX, R1, and then just tap that twice, 3 times. Make sure they're all nice and topped up. Dash through this. So Zidane, VV, and Dagger will have to fight a single dog. Nice and easy. What's good, Funky? Same strategies apply. Ideally, we want Zidane just to finish them off. I will just take a Blizzara in this scenario, just to try and kill it in one hit. Zidane had only just gotten his turn as well, so even if it didn't have its own turn, Zidane wouldn't have even gotten that turn off anyway. So it's almost like there's no risk to that scenario. So in these fights here, we're gonna have 2 back-to-back encounters with Beatrix and Freya, and then Beatrix, Freya, and Steiner. I'm gonna save state. You can just die here. It's not. The death rate here is pretty low, but they can just get you. There are a few things that you can do to help mitigate it, but ideally the best case scenario is Beatrix just gets her Clim Hazard off nice and early. If for whatever reason you didn't manage to hit level 13 on Freya during the Clara Trunk, in this first encounter just use Clim Hazard, but in the second one you want to use Stop Break and then have Freya and Steiner finish off the dogs with basic attacks afterwards. It doesn't matter too much if Beatrix is dead. She doesn't necessarily need any experience or anything like that. It's quite important that Freya does stay alive. So if she goes down, you want to try and Phoenix down her if you can. I'm not actually... She's learning Devil Killer during this process, and I still don't actually know where the backup is for it, to be honest. And Devil Killer is quite important. So we're going to see what we do. They can use Tongue, which sleeps you. If you get slept, there is an option that you can take. It's not 100% reliable, but what you can do is use Jump with Freya to take Freya out of the combat, so that you kind of hope that they target Beatrix with a rush, wake her up, and then allow you to use the Clim Hazard. Though, if you jump and they just keep using Thundara, Beatrix will die, and then you will also probably die. Another option that you can do is you can just start throwing healing on Beatrix if she doesn't get targeted, and use Freya to start healing and things like that, but it can get really messy. It's very dependent on what risks you want to take. So this ATB is, oh my god, pretty good. I mean, you can't suicide your party because you need Freya to gain AP. I'll just end the game early. Yeah, I mean, you can just do that. That technically is a solution. You can just do yourself a favor and not play this game at all. Yeah, if you're on PC, you can just like quit out. So this encounter is a bit more reliable because you've got 3 party members. Steiner's gained all the AP that you need, so he's not really too flimsy anymore. We've got a good ATV. Is it good enough? Yeah, we're good. Perfect. Hooray. Right off. That's kind of the ideal scenario, is the dogs don't have a go and you just get them out. So if you healed before the dogs and you didn't, and you took some damage, heal again now. This is your chance. You want to make sure that you keep that really tight because you can get an encounter on that screen, and Zidane has a really good chance of not learning flee at this point. It can get really messy. I think I've only ever had the encounter once there, but Sal has had 2 encounters in one pass. Smile. So you can get fucked. You can get really fucked. You can get really fucked. Okay, you don't need to count damage on this boss. It's not really important. The fight is pretty linear. You want to cast Blizzara, and then you want to cast Blizzara again, and then you want to swing with Zidane. It's pretty easy. So what I would recommend, thanks to Sal, is that when you hold with Vivi, you just give it a moment and just double fucking check to make sure that you're not getting ultrasound waved. If you get ultrasound waved, you'll need to use a remedy with Dagger to cure it, because otherwise you won't deal any damage. Luckily, I've not been caught out by it yet, but there is always a first. So this fight should be over now. That was a pretty high roll. These Thundara rolls aren't a problem, so I'm just going to kill Blizzara. And then also, during this time, you can check to see if Zidane's learnt Flee. If you open your skill menus, if it's there, great. If not, great. Just keep in mind that. If you low roll and Walvraga doesn't die here and instead uses Curl, wait a turn, then have Vivi cast Blizzara and then attack with Zidane. If the Blizzara doesn't finish it off, the Zidane attack should. I've never had it not die to those 2 follow-ups. If it kills you though, get fucking wrecked. I'm sorry, but that's hilarious.